Are we live yet?
Are we there,
I
Mom?
hope we're live.
How much longer? All right. I should have put myself in. That's not me. How do I do that? I think I have to do this. I can cut this out. Welcome everybody. We'll give this another 5 minutes and wait for people to show up. No, I'm kidding. This is not a meeting. This is the Makercast, episode 45, and we have some guests here. This is a thing that happens normally monthly. It has happened last, I think, like 3 weeks ago, and before that we took a little hiatus. This is not a drill; it's a different tool. Hello, everybody. I see comments popping up. This is wonderful. Welcome to Makercast. Monthly thing. I'm here joined today with these lovely people over. I have next to me a robot, and over there is Clemens, and below me is, but not below me, is the electronic engineer Mark, and then down there we have bitluni. In old customs, let's do a small round of us telling everybody who we are. I don't think I did that before. I'm Dave. So let's go. Clemens, lead the way.
Okay. Hello, I'm Clem. I'm known as MaMX on the internet, and I make videos about electronics, mainly on a YouTube channel called Element 14 Presents. And I also happen to start selling 3D printing resin as a side business. And today I will be focusing on new electronic things that I brought out that are not in the videos, because you can watch them anytime, and on Makercast you get to see other stuff.
I wonder how that...
I think Mark is the next one.
Yep.
I wonder why the channel sounds familiar. But yeah, Mark, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm Mark. On the internet, I'm known as the electronic engineer, and I make videos on my own channel, and lately mostly on Element 14. If it's on my own channel, then there's a big chance it's about spectrum analyzers, because that's what I like to do. That's also what I'm going to share today.
Nice.
If I get it back together, because it just fell off the desk into 1,000 pieces. But more about
Something
that later.
has to break.
Yeah.
All right, and bitluni.
So I'm bitluni, and I'm a YouTube maker, and usually I do electronics. I didn't post a video for quite a long time now, because I was so busy making so many projects, and I think I'm about to finalize some of those, which I will tease here today, and then
Nice.
come back with some videos soon.
Are you also working for Element 14 Presents?
No, I'm not affiliated with that company.
Weird, because I also made videos for Element 14 once. Element 14
It
Presents.
brings all the boys to the yard, isn't it?
What does it mean once?
Once. I mean,
you
it's been...
quit, or?
Yeah,
This is an Element 14 podcast.
it's been
No,
2 years
we had one.
at least. It was
Yeah.
pre-pandemic, I think, when I stopped making videos for them. I'm not really sure anymore. It's a blur. It was a lot of pressure to put out all the videos and work on the projects, and I always took way too big projects to finish in 2 or 3 months. But yeah, that's what I like. Just
Big
tackle
projects.
stuff that's stupid and then just put it in the corner and forget all about it, like my pink calculator watch or the LED dodecahedron. I always try to mix 3D printing and electronics, making PCBs. If I like something, I might copy it, and yeah, that's also what I'm talking about later. But yeah, are there any takers of being the first to present?
Well, I will just take it. For the first. You are very welcome to come back making videos if you want. So that's always open. And also, I think you have pretty much finished the dodecahedron, because I've seen a pretty interesting talk about that one. and all the challenges that you faced. So it's not about not finishing. You do finish stuff. Maybe you should like manage your scope of project a bit for the time frame given. But I also have the same problem. Like I always build stuff that is a bit too complicated than it's necessary to make a finished video. Yeah, but I'll take it from there. And I would like you to introduce you to my little friend that I enjoyed working with over the years. A lot of you know these little chips, so basically
ESP
it's just
programmer.
this thing. Yeah, it's an ESP 01S.
Yeah.
Yeah, the really old, based on the 8266. Super popular for all these home automation stuff. You could get like countless kits that had basically relays or whatever on there, and just stick one of these inside, and that is the controller for whatever project you build. So that you could get these cheap in bulk for a lot of reasons. So this thing also happens to be inside, like over there you can see somewhere a little Prusa Mini over there. If you want to add Wi-Fi to that one, so you can send over your files to the printer, you just put in one of these, and it even can flash the firmware directly onto that, and then your printer's Wi-Fi enabled. So that's a pretty old thing, and as you could imagine, it's pretty slow uploading files over there. So I got on Twitter recently, and a little also not so little account. I think his name was Domenico Lamberti. I'm not really sure about that at the moment, but he asked, is there like a more modern successor to this? Maybe with a more modern MCU on there, so upload could be faster and we could put it in there. And I said, I'm not sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I could make a module just like this, but with an ESP32C3. And so basically half an hour later, I had a design, and then I ordered a lot of PCBs from Iceland the same night. And when I got them back, I assembled a few of those. So
Did they
just
work?
5 and use my test one. And yeah, they work. So here is basically the same thing, pin compatible, or functionally pin compatible. You get one I/O pin more with that one, because you don't need an enable pin. But you can flash it with the same USB programmers that are used with the old ESP01s. And pretty much any project you could do with those, you can basically just flash the code to the other one and use it there. I tried to flash it in the printer, and there is a little roadblock. The firmware that they use in there, I've already forked it, but I've looked into it, and it's not so easy to port because it's using a fork of FreeRTOS for the ESP8266, so it has some processor-specific stuff in there, and I know nothing about FreeRTOS. So I hope that somebody could help port over the firmware, so we have a compatible version for that one, in the hopes to make Wi-Fi upload faster to these printers. And maybe we can use the Bluetooth functionality of this as well. Would be really cool if someone would like make a little app to jog the printer with your phone or something. Yeah. So basically, that was.
Is it faster?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi on there is faster, but it's using the more modern standards.
Okay.
But yeah. Now we
it
don't
sounded
know
like
if
you're still looking for somebody to fix your software problem to make it faster.
Basically, if we now the hardware itself is of course faster, so in theory it should be faster. But if somebody would like make the software work that really is knowledgeable about these things, not like me, I make hardware, not software, and then maybe we could get faster upload on there. But it's basically an example of somebody has a thing on Twitter, and I just picked it up and made it. And I will put some of these modules on my Electron store so people can get them. But they are not this version, because I already made a new one. Because this is pin compatible, and it would be great if I hope to find the right Oh shit.
Working software impossible.
Okay. Could you put the screen thing on the screen? Because this is the other thing I have now 4 screens, so it was a bit difficult to find the right one. So yeah, basically this is the new version, and it looks from the top exactly like the original one. It's a little bit more narrow, so to make sure that it fits all the old like boards where these ESP01s were used, so you don't have any problem with the size. But if you look at the back, you have an optional second port on there, like an optional pin header that is basically staggered at a 1.27 millimeter spacing to the original header. And that allows direct upload via USB, so you don't even need the programmer anymore. And you could use the host functionality of the ESP32C3 or whatever USB mass storage, CDC, all that jazz, but in the form factor of the ESP01, which that's the aim, should allow to upgrade all these old projects that basically use the legacy boards to more functionality and more modern stuff without having to change a lot about the old stuff. And you could still use the cheap breakouts that you find on the internet without any additional cost. Yeah, also uploading a lot easier that way. And it runs MicroPython. So in case you are not so like fancy with ESP IDF or Arduino, which is of course it's compatible with, you could also use MicroPython if you want. Yeah, that is basically the thing that started just from a Twitter thread. I picked that up. And there it is. I'm currently waiting on the new boards. I will assemble a few of those and test them, and then they will be available in my Electron store for everyone to be had. And I probably will send these out to people if anyone wants to have the old version. Then here you go. I give this away.
Free gifts,
I have
only on Makercast.
Yeah. In a shocking turn of event, I was so committed to the project that I ordered 30 of those, and now I have 30 of the old version that I don't really need. So
that's always a good idea. Order too many boards of the first version. What could possibly go wrong?
Too many boards. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
but
I have a question.
Yes.
So your ESP thingy, does it update the firmware of the printer via the serial? So basically it just sends it out. Maybe it's just kept because of the serial communication speed, the baud rate.
No. The okay, how it works is basically when you put in any ESP8266 module, like an ESP01, in the printer, and you use the latest firmware that is available for the Prusa Mini, and you update that, then it will do as a next step an upgrade of the firmware of this thing. So directly on the printer flashes this. And all that it does is basically it provides a bridge from UART to Wi-Fi, or basically to the network. And all it does is transfer the packets over in I think it's a proprietary format. Or basically it's not proprietary because it's open, but it's a project-specific format for all that. And at least as far as I can see, it's basically limited by how fast this chip can communicate with the network. So if you have a slower Wi-Fi router, then of course it's slower. If you have a faster one, then it's basically kept at the speed of this module.
Wait, and it still needs to transfer the data to the printer.
Yeah, that's UART.
Yeah.
So UART is the bottleneck.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, but I think
it could be that UART is slow.
Megabits.
That's the thing. I don't know what's really capping it, but
I think it's 2 megabits at the ESP.
Look at Bitluni, so smart, saying the things that I said, getting the recognition for it.
Yes, I say it, but louder.
Maybe you said it in a way that I could understand what he means.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
but I don't really think the limit is at the limit. Like the transfer speed is at the limit of what UART can handle. I think it's a lot slower. Because I tried it once and it took forever. But
This is
could also
This
depend. You can use SPI instead of UART, I think. Not with these. SPI is not broken out. So
I mean, you could, but then
You have
would
one
also have to
GPIO
rewrite.
for chip enable and
yeah,
the same pins with
ESP32 base. Then
oh
you
SPI.
with the
It's
pin max
directly
you could
without
change them.
index.
Yeah, but then it's in the firmware of the printer.
I
Basically.
think SPI is not maxed.
Easy. Somebody else can do the software.
on the C3 SPI can be maxed.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
I've done that before. You can do that, but then how does the firmware of the printer handle that? I don't know.
Cool.
I think it's because on the hardware UART port of the controller. On the
It looks
PuTTY
like
board.
a project that Brian Luck could do.
Yeah,
Level of complexity.
and then send over files via Telegram to the printer that just starts printing it out.
I mean, Brian writes very nice libraries because I use that
that's
to
true.
open up my door as well with the Telegram bot and stuff. There was somebody else wrote a nice tutorial on it, and I was like reading through it, and yeah, of course he uses Brian Luck's Telegram API thingy for Arduino. So that was nice. Nice to see a fellow person.
Oh, I've seen
Anyway.
There's a comment from the Sheepu. Can you use SMD headers so you could make it a third smaller? If you want to really make it small, you just use the module that is on there, and that is basically SMD solderable to anything. So that module is pretty much the minimal size you can make it, including flash and stuff. And then
Is this like an AI thing, a module, or is this original from Espressif?
This is original from Espressif.
Cool.
The AI thinkers are a bit more expensive than these ones, but if you are into using AT firmware, then I think AI thinker has the pre-flashed ones, so it's easier. Someone wants to do it because these came completely bare. Like if you just connect them, it says there's an invalid header file on there. Why use an AVR when you can run something at Steam speed with Python and ESP? Yeah, why? Why bother with AVR?
I'm very sorry to Shipu for bashing on Python. I'm just doing it because I don't understand it. No, but no, it's kind of.
Speaking of don't understand it, I did a thing. So here's a thing. Here's the demonstration of my learning process of the last week.
I'm waiting for the smoke. I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, because
that's what I want to say. I see smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it doesn't smoke because I don't have an LED in here. But it would blink, and that blink.
I'm checking the 3D printer. The second 3D print will be finished before it's my turn, so I can show what I want to show.
Oh, I thought something went off because Glenn plugged in his
If I would have the LED in here, then this thing would blink, and the blink is written in Rust. So I started to use Rust, and I made my first Hello World on my PC on this knockoff Arduino Uno, and I hope to learn Rust good enough to use it in my projects, because the little things that I did so far were pretty fun, and I was very terrified of using Rust until Jason Kreidner from Beagleboard just posted on Twitter that it's super easy. Here's a tutorial to get started. I did that tutorial, and turns out I was afraid of ghosts. There is nothing to be afraid of. I think it was even easier to get into the workflow of how that works with writing and compiling and uploading than with C and ESP-IDF or stuff like that.
Well,
so I'm very surprised, and I hope I will do more in Rust.
Awesome. I heard very good things about Rust. It's a
what is
language.
Rust? Just asking for a friend.
Rust is a systems programming language pretty similar to C, with great speed, and you can use all the stuff that you basically do in C but it works a little bit differently, and it has the ability to write perfect code. But basically, what stood out to me is that when you compile it, then the compiler tells you exactly what you did wrong, not like here's unknown blah blah blah, and because you somewhere forgot a semicolon, but it tells you exactly what you did wrong, and it feels really intuitive to find the errors in your code. And you can even start with use the syntax that you usually use to do something in like C, Arduino, Python, and just follow the compiler, what it tells you, and you basically translate it into Rust. It was a really good experience to learn how things are called and named. So it's pretty interesting. And apparently you can do pretty much anything you want in that language, and it can run on pretty much anything. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the memory ownership model. You have a system of landing data, and you have to give it back before some other process can use it or corrupt it. That is something that I haven't seen in any other language so far. That's pretty fascinating how that works.
Okay, I'm using this comment as a segue. I'm gonna say, print. Clemens, do you have anything else, or should we go to electronic engineer now? Because
I think we should change over there so people get something interesting to see.
Time is running out for the Makercast.
I have to close the window. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, first of all, there's the analyzer behind me. It's actually right now it looks like a Starship Enterprise that was under attack because it's not doing what it's supposed to because it fell off my desktop. And basically, what I did, I've built several spectrum analyzers, and my desk is becoming quite full with useless devices. They're just there, and you use one, and that's it. But I have like 5 of these devices, and the biggest one is 1.5 meter wide, so it takes up a lot of space. And I'm thinking, so what can I build more because of the space? So I decided to use Lego bricks. And, I made a housing of Legos, and basically it's a whole design in Lego. And before it fell off my desk, it was functional. But just before we started broadcasting, I knocked it over. So I have to look into that later.
That's my excuse too for homework.
Oh yeah. I must say I liked it a lot building it with Lego because I can tear it down again. I can build new ones, and I can make some awesome videos, and then it doesn't consume any space. So I will also build some more visualizers using Lego bricks. It's quite cheap, considerable. It's not real Lego, to be honest. It's a rip-off Lego. And well, it's the electronics inside are not new. It's basically this version has my analog analyzer in it. It's a 10-channel analyzer with an analog front, and then an ESP32 to process the data and make some nice bar effects and even a web server. I used it before in many projects, so it was not quite new. But what I'm going to do over the next few weeks, because this one is finished, there will be a video released soon. I picked up my high voltage, so I'm going to assemble my second Tesla coil. This is an SSTC, and I have some nice boards. Comes with a big capacitor to store some energy. It's kind of the bigger the better. Not really,
it's
but
like, that's not a capacitor. That's a capacitor.
Yeah, and it has some SSTC driver. I should be able to make sparks like 30 centimeters. That's the whole idea, and I can play some music with it. It's not as big as my dual resonance coil, but it's a start, because the dual resonance coil, I never got to finish it. I mean, I built it, I tested it, and I keep blowing it up. And it's quite expensive to to replace the semiconductors over and over again.
But you don't have to recoil the whole thing.
No. It's just
Okay.
there's this bridge in there, a semiconductor bridge that I keep blowing to pieces because I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to, fine tuning, and then do some crazy stuff to to make some nice videos, and usually it ends up in spark and a big pile of smoke, and that's okay, but it makes it quite expensive hobby. So I decided to take a step back and build an easier coil because it's easier to fix it. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on a very old project. This is actually something I built 20 years ago when Knight Rider was a big thing and talking cars and stuff. So this is actually a chip, an SP0256. And I guess the older folks here will know it because it was one of the first chips that enables you to let a microcontroller speak using phonomics. It's old, but it's still functional. I'm just wondering, it's probably peanuts to hook this up to an ESP32 and write some nice code that I can hook up to the internet. So that's what I'm going to try to see if I can revive.
It's just 20 years ago?
The world that I did
Knight
it.
Rider is a bit older, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, well,
2003.
Hey, don't
Well, you don't watch
shame.
You don't watch it today? Knight Rider is of all times. It never gets old.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a date on it. Wait,
twice.
This was 1993 that I built this.
That's 20
Yeah,
years.
that's a bit more than 20 years ago.
That's 30.
Bit
Plus.
more. Yeah.
No,
That's
basically
not 20
you're
years.
saying I'm older. No.
It's 2013. That's totally legit.
What else have I got?
Congratulations.
As I said, I built several spectrum analyzers, and this is, I think, one of my best designs yet because it's pretty fast and it has a lot of channels. I already presented this one, but I'm going to pick it up again because I'm going to combine this with my acrylic analyzers because I built this big analyzers that works on an Arduino, and it has like 14 channels of pixelets, and each channel has, I think, 14 pixelets. But if you want more and bigger, at some point it becomes too slow and it's too big to process. And this one is actually quite powerful, and it uses a Teensy board. And if you look at the back, here's the Teensy, and there's an audio board. And although the main board I built it's not that expensive in parts, the biggest price in this one is the Teensy board itself. The audio board is not that expensive. I think it's €20, and the Teensy board is the same. But all in all, it's a lot. If I could do it with an ESP32, it would save a lot of money. And that all has to do with the chip that's on board. Let me see if I can share a screen. Can I share a screen, or do you have to do that, Dave?
You can. I can not share your screen. That would be
You have
rude.
to click
Oh, here.
on
Wait,
present
yeah,
and
I got it. I got it.
We're so prepared. Nothing can stop us. You might have to restart your browser if you're doing this for the first time.
No. Hello. Here it is. Yeah, it's now you can see it. I think now you have to approve it. It's in the
It's
queue.
down there.
Yeah.
Wow. Add to stream.
Yeah, it's the one. It has to do with this chip. It's actually that's a chip that is on the audio board that was designed for Arduino. And it's actually also a chip that's in a lot of cell phones, apparently. It has the ability to create audio and to record audio. So it has a mic input, a line input, a speaker output. But most important, it has the ability to do sound processing, like do the analysis for me. So I don't need to use any processor power to do it. So with this chip, you could use an easy Arduino to process the data. But the thing is, I designed this whole board, and then there was this nasty chip shortage.
What?
Yeah, and I had to redesign it, forcing me to use this board. But the audio board now is in shortage again, and they changed it back to the chips because no chips are available again. So I'm going to redesign it again and trying to get my hands on some more chips. And then I'm going to port that to the ESP32. And so far, I found some people who already ported it successfully, at least some parts. And that's for me the most, or the parts that's not interesting at all, because it's the audio. It's how to create sounds with it and the record sounds, but that's not what I want. I'm specifically interested in the spectrum analyzer I can build with it, and that part still needs porting. So that's what I'm going to work on.
Nice.
And the idea is to get a cheap, simple board, because the chip itself is like €3. That's not the price. And combine that with an ESP32. Well, then it's affordable for anyone. But still some work in progress. That's actually what I'm working on. Oh yeah, there's one more, but I don't have a demo for that. I still have to finish my laser cutter. I made a video like 2 years or longer ago, starting the build of a laser cutter. And actually, I built it. It's finished, and it's just sitting in the basement doing nothing, because I still need to align the lasers, and I'm waiting for some safety goggles to arrive.
Align the lasers. Is this like diode based, or is
No,
this
no, you're right. It's only one.
Okay. I was like, oh, I found this laser here, and there's a blue disc. I got.
Your suspicion is not far off, because a lot of users have separate lasers for targeting in there and use beam combiners, so they actually come out the same hole. So that's not far off.
Yeah.
I have that on mine, but I don't use it because it's not properly aligned.
Yeah, that one.
It adds a bit of power.
And hopefully I'm going to do
with the right.
Hopefully I'm going to finish that video in the next 2 weeks or so.
Fingers crossed.
So I can finally start cutting the housing, because it still has no housing. That's why I need goggles.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's all I got in the pocket right now.
Nice. Okay, bitluni, are you ready? Is your hot gun hot?
Yeah. Okay. The second sprint is not finished, but I can show a few things. So I started to work on LED matrices again.
No.
Yes, but smaller ones. So not ping pongs, but
small
matrices
ping pongs
like this. This is like these are the addressable LEDs, which are completely like in plastic. That's not like a chip LED surface mount. It's 2-hole.
What happened? I think we lost Mark.
Is to,
you should have said, oh, bye, Mark. There he is again.
Sorry, got knocked out. I'm thinking, I'm done, let's go.
There was this big red button. Sorry, bitluni.
No, all right. So my third LED wall, which is over there, the chip LEDs they are breaking, and my second LED wall, which is here, is completely functional still. So except for the 3 pixels that have a missing channel since the beginning. So that's why I think these addressable LEDs are the most reliable one. I have no experience with this specifically. The other ones, the chains have like this extra how is it called, this 2811 chip, and these have them built in. So I tried, okay, so you don't have to solder like a million pins, let's do the minimal thing, 5x5 matrix, which I really like from the form factor, and I wanted to have like many of those and connected with magnets. So the problem is that you can't find. I found a few connectors that I can show, like these here, which I think Dishipu used them for his keyboard project.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
So that might have been an inspiration, and I found them also on Ali, and thought, okay, when I'm using the problem is that using like true hole components and having these magnets on the side, you can't put them on the same board. So you either need like a stack up of 2 boards to use it like that, or work with tricks. And that, let me show one board. Okay, let me show this one here. Okay, so if you take an even number of LEDs and you just rotate them by 45 degrees, you create some space. And actually, you have like the through hole LEDs underneath that, and the connector comes on top of that. And that works fine. You can put a case around that. This is like a 8 by 8, so 8 by 8 centimeters and 8 by 8 matrix. I can plug it in. This is just for power, but I could communicate with this USB. And there's a
Does it still work? Okay.
Yeah, it still works.
Okay.
So
That's
there
the
is an
problem with
80
magnet
tiny
connectors.
that is before the old suspicious one. davedarko knows him because everyone copied his project using that one. And basically, it should be good enough since these are like the addressable LEDs. I have like a okay, and should be good enough to just set the colors and communicate. So there's like 2 pins for communication in each direction. And what the idea is that the matrices, you connect them, and one is like the source of signal, and they chain up and negotiate the communications and the routing across the LED matrices. So the biggest challenge is the magnet. The biggest challenge will be the software at the end, and so this is like magnet tiles. It's nothing really unique, but yeah, this is the big one, and I really like. This was like the second version. It's working fine, but I really like the smaller form factor. So the newest thing. Where did I put it? Is a compromise, since I have to use an even number, and it's come on. It's okay. I can only show the board here.
Okay, I predict
And
it's
that's
4 by 4.
6 by 6.
Ah.
6 by 6, because you can't put like letter or writing on a 4 by 4 matrix. So and also not a
so you have
smiley.
one letter per module.
Yeah, no, you can put like if you the magnet, you can.
Yeah, but it would be easier to have
whatever.
a full letter in one module.
Or you can use it. You can use that as wearable with a emoji or something. So like this is the minimal thing. 5 would be nice to have like a center column, row, whatever. But a 6 will be also okay. So you can put like an emoji on there, some kind of at least. So this is one of the projects that I'm doing right now. But then you probably watched that video about WCH RISC-V processors that Dave Jones made on this like 12-cent MCU. You didn't watch it? Okay. So it's a quite interesting one. That's the IC. In bulk, it costs like 12 cents. This is the 10-pin version. No, 20-pin version. There's a smaller one which is cheaper, but it has fewer IOs. It's basically, the print is ready.
And what was the name of the chip again?
That one is CH32V002. You will probably find a video by Dave Jones on that one. And Charles Law even, there is like it's RISC-V is open source, so there are quite a lot of things available. There is a GCC compiler. Charles Law even, I think, published Make toolchain, an open source toolchain, but you can also get this IDE from WCH. That's the company that basically made all the USB to serial ICs that are
was
really
about
cheap
to
on
ask
there.
that the CH340C GED.
They make a lot of, like, for many years now, a lot of USB stuff. And so I purchased a few demo kits. Like, this is the demo kit. You can get it off AliExpress. This is the directly from WCH, but there are also like smaller, nicer versions on Tindy. So this is for the 002. There is also a bigger one. I can tell a few things about that one because it's a quite interesting chip. Where's the other kit? Oh yeah, here. This is the 2003, which costs about like $1.20 or something. So, and that one, you can already see it has like 2 USB ports. So one can be used here as power, but usually there are like 2 USB ports, and it uses like high-speed USB, I think, super high speed, can host and device on both USBs, one on host, and I think even OTG capabilities, but not every version of that chip has the OTG capabilities. So I ordered also a few of those ICs and started making projects. Like, there are on LCSC, there are some of the ICs available. They're quite popular right now. But I started making some projects. This is like the CH32V208. It has a Bluetooth built in, but I'm not using it. The antenna pin is just not connected. Because this one has 68 pins, and it has quite a lot of GPIOs. So this is like the next project.
Does it have a center pad?
Yes.
Like for ground?
Yeah, it's 69.
Nice.
Okay.
But
the grounds are interconnected inside. It's in the data sheet. So, like, this is like 10 years ago when I started my YouTube channel. I bought these matrices. You know them. You have them. Everyone has them. But there are different versions, and this is the RGB version. So it has like 8 bits, 8 LEDs for so you have RGB. 8 columns, 8 rows, and for RGB. So you have 24 pins for RGB and 8 pins for the columns. So you have like to refresh like row by row. And usually they are used with shift registers because you don't have that many pins available. But actually, this version, which is I think $130 on LCSC, on AliExpress, it's $2. I don't know why. It has like enough GPIOs which are mapped to one register. It's like you have 16-bit registers which align all on GPIOs. So I can use like 32 GPIOs to have everything in parallel. And this is because using LEDs with, we saw that big matrix with this addressable LEDs, they have like, there are different ones, but most of them only support like 8-bit. And like filming LEDs, they are way too bright. The gamma is totally off. They're way too bright in the low values. So usually you would need like 10 bits or even more to like have a gamma curve to display images correctly on LED matrices. And also, if you add bits, we have like a shifted display, and you suffer in frame rate because you have to shift in all the rows and multiplex or whatever. So I wanted a matrix that is completely in parallel, so I can activate like the complete row of 24. What's the driving current? So
You-
yeah, these are the
Finish your
drivers.
sentence.
I
I'm
have
so sorry.
yeah. Okay, so I have 24 LEDs in parallel that I can light up, and I have different drivers. I have one high side driver for the rows, and 3 low side drivers, 8-bit each or 8 channel each for the low side, which then I think the most like current is obviously through the high side driver, but it supports 150 milliamps per channel, which I think, or 400 no per LED. I think in total it's good enough. I think I calculated correctly, so it supports enough like current. That's why I put the drivers there. Otherwise, I would use it like this one, which doesn't have a driver. It doesn't have anything but the IC, and that's actually the CH32V002. So that's the small one, the 12-cent thing. But I will come to that later. Yeah. So I made this board quickly. It took me a few days and ordered it assembled on JLC. It has some buttons. One is reset, but it can be remapped after boot. And you have 6 buttons, USB, a speaker, and MEMS microphone. Whoops. Which is actually, I never used it before. I just put it on MEMS, so we can do like a spectrograph or whatever on that, because matrices and tiles are cool. And I received them yesterday, so I didn't have much time to design a case for those, but this is like how they look like. There is a magnet with a heart. The heart is not very recognizable, I think, unfortunately, but yeah, I have to change the graphics. But this is what it's supposed to be. I just printed like a few of those to align the things, but yeah, it's still not perfectly aligned, and I think the pogos are not sticking out enough. And unfortunately, with these matrices, which can be plugged into pin headers, since the pin pitch is 1/10 of an inch, unfortunately, there is no way of putting the magnet connectors next to the pins. So I have to use different solutions I found. Can show, tested quite a few pogo pins, and there are like surface mount pogo pins here, but they're without magnets. The magnets can be put in the case after that. I'm still trying to find.
Are those right angle solderable pogo pins?
Yeah, right angle. You can put them flat on the edge of the PCB. Yeah, the magnets will be just press fit in the case. This is the second one that I just printed. I'm still searching for a solution to transfer the button presses to the PCB. So the buttons are currently inset, so they're flush with the PCB. So I have a case which would be flush with the matrix, and I think they're like slits, so the case can act. The 3D printed ones are not that great, but if this would be like a molded thing or whatever, they could be used like as buttons, the case itself. Not sure about that yet. Might be because there are many loose parts. But I can show this device. I just plug it in. So today I started to program them, since I received them yesterday. And you can see there is like some shutter action going on, but I tested today. This board, by the way, has no crystal or nothing. There's like an internal oscillator, and I think it's 140 megahertz or something. You can run the 20X versions of that RISC-V processor. and I didn't manage. Couldn't manage to set up the DMA, but still just with direct pin driving, I was able to output. What was it? Okay, a 12-bit at 50 hertz. So 12 bits per LED channel at 50 hertz. I think it was 148 hertz at 10 bit. So it's a quite like nice display. I implemented.
I want
square
that.
pixels. Oh, that's nice. Oh,
Yeah.
Do you have the part number, Deshipu? That would be looking even better, like with the dots. I don't know. You can plug in whatever you like. So
are those
actually,
diffused?
huh?
Are the LEDs diffused? Because I think I have a matrix like this, and it's very clear. Or is it just a camera?
Yeah,
effect?
yeah. It's quite no. It's you usually. I don't know if you can. You can see
I
like
see
the
a
individual
Okay.
individual dots there.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me just try. I didn't. So unfortunately, I don't have like the cases like connect. But usually you could chain them up, and they
Nice.
will basically with the pogo pins they will also try to communicate. So that's the end goal of these. And using these plug-in matrices is way simpler than soldering these here. Oh, there is the 6x6, and I even have the IC programmed. I think that this will show some colors. So this is way easier. You can basically get almost completely assembled one, and it looks nice at the end.
So
it's
how much
also
is a
way
matrix
cheaper.
like this?
The matrix, I think they're like $8, like below 10 for sure. I think I got them for 5 back in the time, and now
Yeah.
I don't know if they're quite common anymore because they're like denser matrices available.
Okay. I have at
But the
least 2
plastic
here.
ones-
When you're in
Yeah.
Berlin, remind me.
I have
Yeah, I have a
zero
stack
of those.
Yeah.
I've never
So,
seen those before, but I have matrices
Really?
around that work like these, and I've
Yeah.
never gotten around to use them. And I have like hundreds of them because they were
I think they
29
started-
cents each. so I just
So
took them.
one thing,
But-
one thing about that one, so that I found out yesterday the hard way is look at this IC. Do you notice something?
There's a bodge.
Yeah, there is not only a bodge. I had in my schematic. I found
It's fried.
like it wouldn't work. It's I flipped it, and the x-axis by accident. So inputs were outputs, and outputs were inputs, and that's the high side driver. So nothing would work on without this IC. And there is like I couldn't rotate it because then you would have like flipped everything, the rolls,
Yeah.
and whatever. So I thought, okay.
Oh, we're looking at the bottom
desolder
of the
it.
ship.
It's that
Yeah.
bugged.
Oh.
It's an upside down turtle.
Took it off and put it upside down and bent the legs down. Only the power pins, which are the last ones here, I didn't have like to swap them, so I had to put bodges on there. So the legs for the power, they are standing upright the normal way, and the other pins are just aggressively bent downwards. So the IC is on its back now. And I have to rework all the, I think I bought 10 of those assembled and rework those to have, but it's working now. I'm fixing things. That was one thing. Okay, and last project that I want to talk about. So the RISC-Vs. Here's, oh, I've just broken it. Oh, here we go. I wanted to show something's broken. Okay, So I wanted to make
So
like
it's
a
blinking on
mini
purpose.
project with the CNC that I got for review, the Cavera, and yeah, during the live streams I'll just unplug it. And during the live streams, we like try to get like precision boards, and actually you can mill like these are traces of 2.5 0.25 millimeters, and the 0.1 millimeter bit was like cutting the grooves there, and this IC, like this RISC-V, has a 0.65 millimeter pin pitch, and it's working fine. Unfortunately, there is like, if you have like we even managed like to align really precisely. There is even like a super thin via somewhere. Align it like below up to 0.1 millimeter, the both sides, since this is a two-sided and you have to flip it to root the other side. Align it quite well, but I'm like, it's the first time I'm working with the rivets, and I had quite some like loose connections still. There are like 30, I think, 30 rivets here, because I have like tracks on the front and the back because the rows and columns are crossing. Yeah, unfortunately, this should be just a mini console with pink LEDs. For like total BOM cost is $1 or something, because the LEDs is the most expensive, 12 cents for the IC. I have no other parts except like 6 resistors for the current limiting, and the header and the 2 buttons, and which are like 10 cents or 5 cents each, and the LEDs obviously, which are 36 here. So
So
yeah,
what,
that's
what
like,
game can you write with a 2 buttons LED matrix thing?
snakes.
Left.
Arkanoid,
left,
like
left, right,
Pong.
right.
Oh, and
Pong,
this,
like Pong,
the
tennis,
simple
tennis.
racing game.
Ooh,
Racing
yeah.
game. Flappy Birds. You only need 1 button.
That's true.
Oh yeah, Flappy Bird.
There's plenty of. I mean, that's a challenge. And I see, like, unfortunately, this one doesn't have USB. So, but you can program it like with 1 pin, and the other 2 pins are power. But I think at some point, like, the RISC-V will get an Arduino core, if it's not like in beta somewhere already. So I think it would be cool to put this open source, and maybe a small kit where you can make a console for like $1 BOM cost or something. Yeah,
Can't wait for
all.
that video.
Yeah, a lot of videos, lots
gaming.
of projects, not finished videos. And I have like three other projects that are still manufactured right now. So, but I won't spoil those.
Cool.
Did I talk for an hour? Yes, I'm finished.
I was like, okay, if he has another project, I'm gonna be like, well, maybe you can do that on a live stream or something, and then we'll
Oh, and
pointed at the description.
Since you said so often that it's RISC-V based, a
Yeah.
lot of people might not know, but the ESP32C3 is also RISC-V.
Yeah.
And there's also now the Rust core for that thing, and also the Arduino core and stuff. So you can basically, if you want to try out RISC-V, then you can do it now. You don't really have to wait for some code to be botched. But those new chips are like super interesting for the low budget folks, and for like products you would want, or projects you would want masses of. Like, I imagine like 50-cent swarm robots with just little vibration motors and stuff.
Yeah, PCB motors.
So the WCH are quite interesting because of the price point of the small ones. They have unfortunately no USB, so the C3 is a competitor.
Yeah.
But like the 203 with the 2 USBs with host capabilities, and OTG are like already getting interesting. Also, the one with the Bluetooth. If I would just put an antenna on there, I could maybe use it as well. But it might be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave, what do you got us? What do you got for us?
Wonderful. Great segue. Thank you, Bitluni.
Shrink me. Yes. Thanks.
Yes. Okay. Back to your hot glue gun. Yes. What have I been up to? It's been a minute since I've been on this show, I think. I gave a talk, which was kind of fun and also very scary. And then I asked my mom. No, I didn't ask her. I still had a pill that is for anxiety. And I had the choice. I could either use it on a prop plane flight.
Was it the red one or the blue one?
Exactly. And I used it for the talk, and I only used half of it, and then half of it right before the talk. And in the middle of the talk, I noticed I shouldn't have done that because I got bored reading my own slides. So I was very relaxed, which was nice. And I had some fun with the talk. And I also have that on my YouTube channel.
No drugs allowed conference.
No, it's the hip Berlin. Yeah, it was called Hacking in Parallel. It was a pretty fun event. It was nice to see a lot of like-minded people. Also, there's this chaos scene, I guess. They called themselves Chaos Computer Club, and there are so many hack spaces that see themselves affiliated with the Chaos Computer Club organization, and lots of stuff around that. So that was pretty cool to be on an event like that, like the Chaos Communication Congress also would have been. And yeah, so add to stream. This is me talking about the dodecahedron. I think I gave one of 3 talks about hardware at this conference, but it was such a nice 400 people event, and I was talking about I think you can really see how relaxed I am at this point. But yeah, I gave a rundown of the things that I run into designing this dodecahedron, and what I had when I was ordering PCBs from JLC PCB, that I had to rework some of the bits because, yeah, there was one wire not connected. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, feel free to watch it on my channel. I don't think I have my channel linked in the description, which is completely my fault because I forgot that I posted a video on there. Yeah. I would have been really happy if that video would have been posted on the ccc.media.de server. That's like the YouTube for the Chaos Communication Congress stuff. So whenever there's a talk, whenever there's a big event where people are talking about cool shit, then there's hopefully also a recording on cccmedia.de. And finally, I made it. I gave a talk at an event, and it's going to be on cccmedia.de. And sadly, the people haven't uploaded my video yet, so it's still only there. Anyways,
it's like a badge of honor.
Yes, and I don't have it yet, even though I gave the talk. I've done the work.
No TED Talk yet?
No, but I mean, do we need that? We have the Makercast.
Yeah, that's right.
We have 4 TEDs talking right now, so it's not a dig on diversity if it has. Anyways, yeah, there's other things that I ran into that I'm currently working on. But thank you, Leszek, for sharing my YouTube channel. There it is. That's easy enough. YouTube.com, davedarko. The chaos.
Nowadays, everybody has a short URL, which is really nice.
Yes. Right. Segue. Thoughtbot. So I'm not on Twitter anymore, but I'm on a Mastodon server, and I saw something posted by Thoughtbot the other day that really got me hooked. Because it was this little macropad that Adafruit designed, and he misused it. He basically hacked it to give sound output and MIDI in via the I2C connector, which was pretty nice. And he had some samples running, and there was this drone thing going, where he basically had 12 voices that he could change via pressing a button and then dialing the knob. Sounds pretty cool. And I had it installed on the thing that I built, but I don't have a picture. I can show it. So I was like, okay, I really like this. I want to have it, but also I don't want to pay 70 euros to get the macropad and then just run an Arduino file and be done with that. I was like, okay, maybe I can design something myself. There aren't that many parts. I can swap out the mechanical buttons because I don't know. They're expensive buttons. They kind of look cool, but I'm not really into them. So I was like, okay, I can maybe use like 3-cent buttons. Those are €1 buttons. Also, grab an OLED that is on a module, and I came up with I should remove this and show myself. I made this. For a brief second, I called it GhettoPad, and then somebody was like, well, you should find a new name, right? Okay, yeah, that's right. Because I was going for the, okay, it's a cheap thing. I'm going to ghetto something together, but then again, I don't really have to go to that. So I was thinking, okay, it's a low-key keypad. I'm going to call it low-key pad. I don't care. It's not a product. It's a project. And there we are. I integrated Thoughtbot's hardware changes and just used a... Oh, I really hope I can still take it out. Kind of. So I used a PyPico, and I also hacked on... this is connected to the knob, and the knob has a button. So when you plug it in and push the button of the knob, this is connected to the reset button, to the boot button. So I don't have to take it out of the case. And yeah, so this was fine. I ordered the wrong LEDs and noticed that when I solder on the SK6812 in 3535 or 3.5 millimeters on, they have the same pins, but everything is shifted by or tilted by 90 degrees, which is kind of annoying when you solder them on like you expect them to work. So I had to remove all the pins, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but the buttons didn't really like that. I had to swap out a button again, and then I was able to put in the LEDs. Yada yada. Yeah, and then when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I removed I2C, but maybe I can edit again, because then I could use a different thing that I made. I thought I bought these. Oopsie! I bought these buttons, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use them for something, and then I didn't do that for a long time. They're pretty cool. They have like 2 LEDs, and I replaced the red and green with a pink LED and a green LED. And yeah, then I soldered this, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty much done. There's an ATtiny 1616 on there. I programmed something where it was just blinking, and then I put it away. It was like, okay, I can, if I need it, I can program the I2C code for it. But yeah, then right, I've put both together because I'm also kind of buying too many things, and I have this obsession with small Casio keyboards, and the latest that I've found has an integrated. I'm gonna grab it quickly. It has these little chord buttons with modifiers, and this is so nice to just be able to play music without really thinking of how many buttons you have to push. And also, this is a monophonic keyboard, so you can't really play chords, but you can do it with these buttons. I always play the Avengers tune, and I don't know. I really liked it, and I was like, okay, maybe I can combine both things that I have, and yeah, just find out how I can program the Arduino Mozzi library, and I now have to. Where's the USB? Right. So I've at least, let me show you the pink and green LEDs. And when I push a button on this one, should turn on the speaker. I double tapped.
Can't hear yet.
Bluetooth connected.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the dial tones, which is kind of annoying. But then you can also make it sound more annoying if you press the modifier. So, yeah, I definitely have to find out how I can use different voices in Mozzi, because this is just a clean 4 voices sine wave thing. Yeah, it sounds like dial tones, exactly. So I think dial tones is like 2 tones playing.
Correct, the
in
2
some
tones.
rows. Yeah, but I was very happy when I got it running like this, and it doesn't really sound like anything good, or it doesn't sound as nice like the Casio keyboard. But I could also possibly use this as a MIDI controller if the oscillator thing doesn't work. So yeah, lots of possibilities. And I got this little thing. I think I have expenses of 20 euros maximum for everything. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that.
How did you get the lettering on those buttons? Is that lasered?
No, it's just a label. I have these.
It looks like it's really on there.
No, I think you can see it on the 7 right there.
Oh yeah, there's a little piece of film.
It's just a transparent sticker, which is kind of nice. I was like, okay, I can work with that. But yeah. This is the only thing that I'm allowing myself project-wise right now. Otherwise, I'm very busy looking at the situation of our hack space. So yeah, our hack space, we have the opportunity. I have to sound positive. We have the opportunity to buy the place that we're renting, because the people that we rent from are like, okay, we're gonna enjoy the rest of our lives with the sweet money that we can get by offering you this place. But yeah, so I was kind of busy looking at all the solutions we can come up with as a group, as a community, to make this work. And yeah, it's an interesting phase. So we're looking for money, for people sharing our situation, stuff like this. Yeah, but we're on a good way, I think. Yeah, we're gonna lend money from everybody and the mafia, and we might give it back. But yeah. So that's an interesting situation to be in. So I don't really find myself having the time to work on pink calculator watches. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Johnny Birdo. Who needs fingers anyways? Yeah.
You will get around to it eventually. But first we have to save the hack space.
Yeah, save X sign. Yes. Right. That's everything from me so far, and I hope that I think we actually have a thing going now that next month should work out as well for Makercast. But in the meantime, I'm gonna add this to the stream again. If you're interested in people like us or hearing from us, Eddie Grant. I should have. Never mind. Great person. Interviewed a bunch of us, and will probably interview some more. I talked for so long. Anyways, very nice channel. I can recommend watching all of this. Interesting people on there, and also Chris puts together a Maker News email newsletter. So if you want to keep up to date with the people that aren't on the show, you can subscribe to that or take a look at that. Find the Maker News subscribe thingy. Can I post this here? I think so.
I think so.
Yes, let us do that.
I have to say it's very well curated, and sometimes I think even in every issue so far, there's also a dedicated article in there that always was very interesting.
I wonder why you say that.
Sometimes you have to deal with that phase, so they can't all be perfect. Yeah.
Did you choose that picture?
Oh, by the way, your
No,
project
that Jordan
was
chooses
really
those
cool.
pictures. I'm not choosing them. Sorry.
It's a cool project that you made there with the arcade. It was like one of the few that I actually watched recently. No, I mean Element 14. It's like quite often the things are repeating, but that one was quite interesting.
It was quite different, and it currently does double duty as a basically a media player, because it's like a PC in there, and the sound is surprisingly good because the speakers are pretty beefy. So I currently use it as a media player when I'm not one to play the game, and it will probably, after Maker Faire Vienna, where I'll take it to, end up in our local makerspace for everyone to use.
Cool. I think there's another announcement this month. As a conference.
Oh,
we are in Berlin.
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
Before the next Makercast, so we should at least encourage people who are in Berlin.
Yes.
I think tickets might be sold out already. Are they?
Could be.
Probably.
Don't know.
I haven't checked.
Yeah,
sure.
but if you're there, say hello.
Yes.
Quite a few of us will be there. Dave will be there. Me.
Yeah.
Maya, are you coming?
Yes, I will be there.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna hold a lightning talk about Exine. I'm just gonna e-bake with an E,
Yeah.
not with an A. I had a very very bad typo the other day. Anywho, yeah, Hackaday, and also I basically told everybody when we're done on Sunday, I'm gonna give a tour at Exine, because there's probably also Berlin people that haven't seen Exine yet, the hack space. Yeah, right. Cool.
Oh, and there's one more event this like the
What?
week after next week. There's Embedded World, and I will be also there with
Oh,
Raspberry Pi
What?
celebrating
Embedded
10
World?
years.
When is Embedded
Uh-huh.
World?
14th to 16th
wasn't that the other
March.
day?
Nuremberg?
in Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
So if
March.
anyone is there, come say hi. We also have Raspberry Pi Picos to give away. I just teased that. So
This month. Embedded World.
yes,
Well,
Oh.
that isn't worth the
Everybody's
trip to
scrambling in the calendar.
Nuremberg.
I'm too lazy. I don't want to go. That's like next week.
It's pretty close, and I have to finish a video until then. So
Who doesn't? Okay.
Yeah, who
Yeah, I
doesn't?
might go to Embedded World as well.
oh yeah, that would be awesome. So if any of you is
I liked
coming,
it last
then
time.
hit us
Yeah.
up.
Tickets available?
If you want a ticket, then just look at who's exhibiting and write them an email. I'm pretty sure they give you one.
The last time
That
I think
kind
even
of
Embedded
exhibit.
World itself gave me a free ticket.
Yeah.
That's the
What was?
glory of trade shows. You just ask for a ticket and you get
Yeah, I
one.
know. Same here.
Which one was the one where Steven was at?
Electronica.
Oh, okay. I'm just mixing them up. Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
they're similar events, bit of different scope, but very interesting if you're an electronics nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Let's finish this. End moderation. Oh wait,
Thanks for
that's my job.
watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.
That one.
Bye-bye.
Maybe we should that guy also next time.
we should invite him if we have one or two
Yeah.
more steady episodes. But yeah, that would be a cool idea. Alrighty. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.